is leg raises. Pretty much what you're going to be doing is laying flat on a soft surface. You can do it on grass, or you can do it on a mat inside a gym. It's up to your choice, but since we're outside, we're going to go ahead and do it on the grass. So first off, we'll have you lay on your left-hand side, and you're going to have what you're gonna have your left arm all the way out in front of you and rest your head on your left arm.
Okay.
There you go. With your right arm, keep your right arm in front of your chest, balanced, and your knees and your feet should be aligned. Okay. And go ahead and raise your right leg, and as you're raising it, exhale and hold for 2 seconds, and release and breathe in. And repeat. And as you're doing this drill, you want to do at least 10 reps, up to about 15, depending on what you feel like doing. And you can do up to 1 set or even 3 sets. For our next exercise for the quads, we're actually going to be doing mountain climbers. What you're going to need to be doing is kneeling with your knees hip width apart and your arms on the ground, shoulder width apart. Yes. So now you're going to bring your right foot all the way out, extended, keeping your toes pointed down. Okay, and then you're bringing your left quad all the way up and placing your left foot up where your shoulder is, closer to your shoulder as much as you can. Okay. You're going to want to keep your back straight as much as possible, and you're going to switch both legs, bringing your left leg back, okay, extended, and your right leg into your chest. And you're going to do it in a jumping motion, just like that. Okay? Good. Good. And you can do about 20 to 30 of these, depending on what you feel like. Maybe in a set of 1 or 2. For our next quad exercise, we are going to be doing leg steps. Pretty much you can use the same box that you used for your box jumps, or like we're using the table bench. And what you're going to be doing is the same thing, having your feet about shoulder width apart, and you're going to be lifting with your right leg first, stepping forward, okay, onto the bench, following with your left foot. Then you're repeating, bringing it back down with your right foot, and then following with your left foot. So you're always leading with your right foot for the first set. And you're going to do probably about 10 of these, and then you'll switch to your left foot and maybe do about 3 sets. So if you don't want to do sets, you can actually time yourself, maybe for about 1 minute to 3 minutes would be a good time, and you can continue to pace yourself, make it go longer, or keep the same pace for every exercise that you do. For our last quad exercise, we will be doing box squats, and once again, you can use anything that you would like that's appropriate height. This bench might be a little high, or it might be the right size, just depending on what you're planning on working on how hard you want to push yourself. So basically, for box squats, you're just going to be feet shoulder width apart. You're going to have your back straight and your butt out, and you're going to be lowering all the way down until you hit the bench, and back all the way up, all the way down, all the way up, making sure to keep a good posture. So you could probably do about 10 to 15 reps with 1 to 3 sets.
We're going to be working with our deltoids now, working out each side of the deltoids. There's 3 parts to the deltoid: the anterior, lateral, and posterior section of the deltoids. First, we're going to do the deltoid extension exercise. gonna have Robert here get on all fours, get on his hands and knees, and just hands and knees shoulder width apart. Keep the back straight, and you'll lift. We can start with the left hand, so he's gonna lift his left hand off the mat, keeping balance on the other parts of your body, and then he's gonna reach through under his arm. So you can reach through and out, dipping the shoulder down pretty far. Yeah, there. And then just extending it back all the way out and straighten the elbow all the way out. Yeah, and that'd be one set. And so you can keep doing these sets, probably at least 10 reps. And this is just free weights with no weights. You can add weights or a band. Next for the deltoids, we're going to do the pike press push-up. It's a modified push-up that focuses more of the deltoids. So if Rob could get into a basic push-up position on the mat, just keeping his back straight, and then we're going to bring in the legs, bring your legs under you closer, and then lock out the legs. Keep your back straight. And then you do a push-up, bringing your forehead to the mat, and that focuses a lot more on your deltoids. For our next couple exercises, we're going to be using an elastic band. We're going to focus on working each muscle group of the deltoid, each section of the deltoid. So I'm going to have Rob just start with putting it under your foot and on the same side you're using your arm for it. And throughout all the variations of the exercise, you're keeping your elbow locked and raising it just above, parallel with the ground, just above shoulder height. By raising it a little in front of your body, you work the posterior part of the deltoid, and by raising it a little behind your body, you can work the anterior part of the deltoid. Alright, after sets of those, you can work just the lateral section of the deltoid by raising it perfectly sideways to your body. So do a couple reps of those. And then last, you can raise it a little, keeping it a little behind your body, which will work the anterior.
For our first flexible stretch for quads, we're actually going to do a standing stretch. What you're looking for the standing stretch is a solid surface. Grass, you can do it on it, but you're just going to be a little worse for your ankle because you're going to have to try to balance a little bit more on the uneven ground. So you want a solid surface where you can be balanced evenly. Basically, you're going to take your right leg and you're going to lift it up behind your butt and grab it with your right arm, and you're bending at the knee. Making sure not to wiggle out, keeping your knee out. You're going to keep it straight and leveled with your right foot pointed to the ground, keeping it straight back and holding for about 30 seconds. For our next flexible exercise, we're going to be doing a variant of the standing stretch. With all the research that I've done, there aren't too many different ways of doing the quad stretch. So a different variant would be laying prone on the ground and lifting your leg to your butt, bending at the knee, same way as you would the standing stretch. But this way, if you're on an unbalanced ground, you can actually lay down and just worry about stretching your quad instead of balancing yourself. So laying out flat on the ground with your head forward, resting on your arm preferably, and then lifting your right leg up to your butt, and then grabbing your right arm and just pulling closer and holding for about 30 seconds.
For stretching the deltoid, one of the most basic stretches, you'll just, if you're stretching your right deltoid, you can bring your right arm up and across, use your left forearm, pushing behind your right elbow to stretch the deltoid. And this really stretches the posterior part of the deltoid more so than any other segments. Hold the stretch for 30 seconds. And then you can switch, same thing with the other arm. Left arm across. Pull it back. The next stretch, you can use a wall or a post. What you do, I'll have Robert put his right arm against it, facing it as you put your hand on, and then twist his body away from it, and you can all the way around, and keeping the elbow locked the entire time. And you feel the stretch, and this helps stretch the anterior part of the deltoid, where the right arm across stretch usually stretches the posterior part of the deltoid.